Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Woman Reset. Today's episode is all about something every woman over 40 needs if she's stepping into a new chapter, getting on the right people's radar quickly without burning yourself out on content. So, if you've ever been invisible or you've ever felt like you're starting over, this one is going to feel like a warm exhale. I'm Karen Yankovich, the host of the Good Girls Get Rich podcast. This Rich Woman Reset is a sub series to our podcast. Let's get you seen. We're going to start with the reality, which is that the opportunities, the biggest opportunities that come our way, come from people, not from posts. The algorithm doesn't change careers. The people in your network do, right? We've heard all these things. It's not what you know, it's who you know. You're the sum of the 5 people you're surrounded with. We know these things to be true, but yet we continue to just create content instead of creating a network, right? Relationship capital moves so much faster than content. And if you've been around a while, then you already have networks filled with opportunity. You're just not activating that, right? So we're not worried about going viral. We want to be known by the right people. And getting known is so simple when you're consistent with doing the things that can get you there. I don't believe that you need a content strategy before you need a connection strategy. I think you need a connection strategy first. So we're going to talk about three fast ways to get on people's radar. The first way, and we talked about this on the last episode, you should be listening to all these episodes, high quality comments. This, my friend, is your superpower. This is the superpower of introverts. It's the superpower of quiet women. Thoughtful comments position you as a peer, not as a spammer, not as a follower, but as a peer. And you're building relationships, you're building connection, you're building conversation. These comments get shown to thousands of people who would never see your profile otherwise, right? And we don't want these comments to be nice post, pretty top. We want it to be, this insight is so aligned with what I've been seeing with my clients, especially around ABC, right? Thank you so much for saying it out loud. We can't say this enough. The reason this works so well is because comments and other people's content travels faster and farther than any post you can put on your LinkedIn wall. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. Put posts on your wall. You should. That's a separate issue. But the comments on other people's content, number one thing you should be doing, because they build credibility faster. They show your emotional intelligence, and that's what people want. They want to engage with, they want to hire, they want to give their credit card to people they feel connected to people they feel they can trust, right? And that happens when you engage in conversations way more than when you post scripted content. Does that make sense? So the second way we can do this is to create micro introductions, right? DM people that inspire you and thank them for their ideas. Your favorite podcast hosts, people that write articles, people in your community maybe that own a boutique that you really like to shop in, right? People that inspire you in any way, shape, or form. I did this one time with somebody that gave me a facial one time. I wrote her a LinkedIn recommendation because I was so excited that she used LinkedIn, right? And I wanted to support her. So just reach out to people. Maybe it's someone you used to work with. Maybe it's just congratulating somebody that their book came out or they won an award, or even if it's, maybe there's a top 10 women who list somewhere. Connect with all those top 10 women and message them and just say, so excited for you. This is amazing. Really happy to be introduced to your work. I'm looking forward to be connected to you and learning more about you, right? Or you can even just say something as simple as, you popped into my mind. I hope this season is treating you well. Right? We're talking about warm visibility and connection, not salesy conversations. Because what's happening here is you're not bothering people. You're reconnecting to your power, right? Do you understand how the distinction in that shift right there? And then the third piece of this is being seen in the right rooms. Join conversations where leaders are posting. Show up early in comment threads. Talk to people that other people listen to. Visibility by association is real. That's why we build PR into our LinkedIn strategies. Because if I meet you on the street and say, hey, I'm Karen Yankovich and I teach LinkedIn strategy, you'd be like, all right, cool. But if, Mary says, you need LinkedIn strategy, you need to talk to Karen, that association gives me more credibility, right? So this visibility by association is real, and it's extremely effective for those of us that have been around a while and have met a lot of people over time. What I want you to understand here is that you don't need attention from everybody. You just need connection and conversation from the right 20 people, right? Like just a small subset of people. If you're doing this consistently, everything can change for you. Everything can change for you. And if you want to learn how to get on the radar of high value clients and collaborators and media with simplicity, the Visibility Salon is where we practice this together. It has been completely revamped. I took my many thousands of dollar program and changed it so that we can get more. It's available and accessible to more and more women. I want there to be more wealthy women in the world. And this was my way of doing that. It is a gentle, relationship, deeply effective program that can help you with these strategies. So let's talk a little bit about how these conversations that we talked about here create opportunities for you. When we're creating a LinkedIn strategy together, I want it to be magnetic. You've seen all the spam that we're getting right on LinkedIn. Everybody's messaging you. People message me that they can help me with my LinkedIn strategy. They're not even reading my profile, right? I don't want you to do that. I don't ever want you to do that. I want people coming to you. And when you do these strategies that we taught earlier in this episode, people start inviting you onto podcasts without you even having to pitch them. Colleagues refer you quietly behind the scenes. High ticket clients reach out because they've been seeing your name everywhere, right? You stop feeling invisible and you start feeling in demand. Okay. This happens fast. I can tell you, and I've mentioned this before on this show, I have examples, personal examples, where somebody did not know me, on a Tuesday morning and saw me jump into a conversation on LinkedIn, checked out my profile, liked what they saw, booked a call with me, and by the end of that day, invested in my high ticket package. They didn't know who I was that morning, right? This could happen to you. They didn't listen to 300 episodes of this podcast, right? It's not like they were following me for 10 years. They saw me engage in this conversation. They felt connected to that. They checked out my profile. I made it clear on my profile where my zone of brilliance is, and most importantly, what to do next, right? Book a call. And they did. And they gave me their credit card before the end of that day. So it can happen that fast. It's happened to me that fast. And it happens to women who show up quietly, consistently, and intentionally. I feel like as I'm about to say something that seems a little bit like, I want to shout this, but what I'm going to shout is that visibility is not about shouting. I want you to understand that we're not creating a message here that you have to shout from the rooftops. It's about being present in the places that your future opportunities already live, right? With a few thoughtful interactions each week, you can change the trajectory as we move into 2026. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to get into the 3 core profile changes that create instant credibility on LinkedIn. I'll see you in the next episode.